What's good, everybody? It's just your neighborhood angler, Money Bass, out here about to do this thing we call Bass for Cash. Now, I get out here on a weekly basis, guys, see how many fish we can get to the boat in maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of time. As I bring those fish to the boat, all you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel. That is thing one. Thing two, you need to guess the exact weight of the fish, and bam, just like that, you can walk away with a nice cash payout. All right, guys, we're starting a little late today. I was hanging out with some guys from the Barrow Bass Club out of Columbus. They had a good day out here on the lake, came in with some big uns, guys. Want to give a big shout out to you guys. Really appreciate you for letting me hang out with you for a few minutes. So we're going to get out here. I think we're going to stick to the game plan. What we've been doing so far is some shallow water cranking, hitting them in the mouthpiece with a shaky head. And, you know, sometimes I might follow that up with, today what I did want to show you guys is I'm breaking out the buzz jet. If I see some of those fish back in some of those shallow pockets, we're going to hit them in the mouthpiece with some top water baits, all right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get everything going. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. I really, really appreciate the strong support of the channel. So we're going to get to it, guys, and you know the routine. We're going to be out here for a good time, not a long time. So let's go ahead and get it cracking, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Also, make sure you hit that like button on the way in and share the link to this video. So what we're gonna do, I think we're just gonna not make a long run, and we're gonna stick with the game plan as far as hitting some of these shallow pockets. It's kind of in the late afternoon, getting to be the late afternoon, so we'll see if those fish are moving back in shallow in the afternoon, guys. All right, guys, it is time for some fun. It is time for some fun. Did anybody go fishing this weekend? And if you did you have any success? Did you fish any tournaments? What were you guys up to? All right, so this is what we're gonna stick to today, guys. Here we go. You guys know the routine. What's going on, Beards and Bass? He says, I did, killed it. Shout out to Beards and Bass out there doing his thing. So we're just gonna get straight to it, guys. We're gonna start off with some shallow water cranking. Cast number 1. Shout out to Midwest. Beards and Bass said he caught so many he lost count. Now, what lake were you fishing on? What lake were you fishing out there? To lose count. Anybody else doing any fishing this weekend? What's going on, Ika? Says, hey, MoneyBass, how are you? I'm doing all right. Big shout out to AC. We got AC already getting active in the chat. Really appreciate that. Man, you guys got those likes up pretty quick. Really appreciate it, guys. I know I started out a little late today, but I saw some fellow anglers out here having a tournament today. So I wanted to hang in there and hang out with them for a quick minute. Beards and Bass says, hey, it's my secret spot. He said there's only 5 parking spots and 1 ramp. He said, I'm not gonna tell you. He said, I'm not giving up the location. What's going on in burning season? Says, Money, did you use the pro partner circuit next? Let me see. Money, did you see the pro partner circuit next year? 5K entry. Let's partner up. I'll put you on them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know, burning season. I don't really feel quite the same about tournament fishing as I used to. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to get back into the tournament spirit. I've seen some things. But that sounds like that might be a good thing. But you guys know that Battle of the Anglers that we do. I mean, to me, of all the years of tournament fishing that I've done, that format is really where I have the most fun at. Being able to hang out with the guys. We're able to get out there, do our thing, see how everybody's doing. I mean, we actually get to see when one of our friends are catching fish, all that good stuff. The burning season said too many Scott Martins out there. Now, let me ask you, are you referring to the tournament information situation? Is that what you're referring to? Oh, okay. So you said, yeah, about the tournament information. And so for me, like when you see we're doing Battle of the Anglers and we're communicating and talking to each other, we can actually see what each other are throwing. We have you guys in the chat that are giving us tips and things like that. So I know that's a completely different level. And definitely on that pro level, I know it's a whole lot different. But something like that for me, I'm not really even too concerned about that. There are some lot more sinister things that are going on in some of these tournaments as far as people meeting up on lakes and exchanging fish, putting fish in baskets, all of this crazy stuff that you hear about. So it gets way worse than that. Because if somebody gives you information, you still have to figure out how to catch the fish, right? But on the pro level, I understand that a little information with them, with their level of skill, their skill level and level of expertise, they can take some information that somebody, that is not as skilled as they are, and they can actually make that information to their benefit, which is kind of a disadvantage for their competitors. But for me, I just like fishing the smaller things where it doesn't even really matter to me if we're on here laughing and having a good time. Let me see. The burning season says Seth Fighter was on Mercer, basically called Scott. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. See, I don't know anything about those type of details about, what somebody's been doing in the past and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, I just don't even want to have to worry about that kind of thing. What's going on? We have small water charters tuning in. Man, this is a nice little shallow pocket right here. Then we have a kind of a long point. So all I'm doing again, guys, is I just looked on my mapping and I just ran to the first long cove that I could find. And we're just gonna kind of fish out this whole cove. I'm gonna run through it with a crankbait. If I see anything that looks like it needs a shaky head type of situation, then I'll slow down and hit it with that. Small Water Charter says, we are friends with Roland, and he has fished on the edge of legal his whole career. Oh man, not on the edge. Is that good or bad? I guess if it's legal, right? I suppose. And that wind is kind of picking up out here too, guys. So did anybody else do any fishing this weekend? So we see that Beards and Bass was out there doing his thing. Said he caught so many that he lost his count. What was the biggest one that you caught, Beards and Bass? What was your biggest fish for that day? What's going on, James Larry, tuning in? I know some of you guys were chatting a little bit before while I was running and right before I got on. So just drop your messages back in the chat again if I missed it. Just looking to see what everybody was getting into this weekend. Small Water Charter said we ran crappie charters this weekend. Okay. Good deal, good deal. Oh, you guys know what I forgot to do? I forgot to give a big shout out to SWAT Lawn Operations. SWAT Lawn Operations. They are actually very active right now, guys. You know, the seasons are changing. So it is now time for, if you need someone to take care of your outdoor residential lawn, residential and commercial lawn or outdoor needs, make sure you reach out to SWAT Lawn Operations. And you know what, guys? I think they may actually do fencing and stuff like that. I don't know. I talked to them a little earlier, and I think they were out there working on some fencing, guys. Also want to give a big shout out to FishXLive.com. FishXLive.com. You guys definitely need to go and check out that tournament app. Everyone who has taken a look at it has been very impressed with the features and everything that it offers. And one of the number one things that I tell people, okay, looks like it may be some fish on this point right here, guys. Let's see if we can go ahead and pop something in that mouthpiece. With FishXLive, one of the main things that I tell these different clubs or organizations is people are starting to really get into the social media side of things and seeing the power that they have as far as providing value to sponsors. And FishXLive would definitely help you out because it allows you to build up your social media presence through your weigh-ins. So you have live weigh-ins, you have the live chat. So it's very interactive. It allows your family and friends and everybody to get involved with your tournament. So, you know, people are always asking, did you catch any? How did things go? All that kind of stuff. They would actually be able to see that live and in action. All right. The other thing is for the sponsors, you will be able to advertise and promote their products. And you know what they give you in return for that, right? Thought I maybe felt a little something. James Larry says, please post how to become a member. So, James, are you referring to a member of the Money Team on the channel? Is that what you're trying to figure out? Big shout out to Rory Johnson. He says, good afternoon, evening, Mr. MoneyBass. Good to see you, Rory. All right, there you go. So Alexandria just dropped the information in the chat on how you can become a member of the channel. And those are the people that you will hear me referring to as Money Team. So shout out to Clint Perry. And you know, Clint Perry comes in gifting those memberships every once in a while. And when he does, some of you are able to get those gifted memberships. But if not, Alexandria just dropped the information in the chat. Man, how's that wind for you guys? Because like I said, the wind is starting to pick up. We're gonna get on the other side of this point where the wind is hitting it and see if maybe the fish have come over here to this side. All right, so James, are you using an Apple phone, an Android, or are you on a computer? How are you trying to log in? Bottom report says there was an angler in the BFL that broke the no info rule, and an angler broke the wake zone rule for the second time in the same place. Do they have a no info rule for the BFL? Burning season says, so what you saying is there's another of losers in tournaments. Oh goodness, I'm telling you, man. Okay, James, so you're trying to use an Apple phone. So I can tell you, and Alexandra may be able to help you out with that, but I think the people that have been trying to set it up using an Apple phone have had issues with using Apple. And it's something because of what they, the issue with the phone itself or the operating system that they use. So what they've done is the people that have an Apple phone, they actually go in and use their computer or a laptop or something like that. All right, Alexandra says it's so windy we can barely hear you. Yeah, it was. The wind was blowing a lot just a second ago. All right, so we should be out of the wind in just a second. How's the wind now, guys? All right, Ika says the wind is causing some audio issues, but no worries. Oh yeah, the wind was not my friend. All right, how's the wind now, guys? How's the wind sounding to you? Man, it is a nice day out here. Guys, look at that. Nice blue skies. Nice cumulus clouds. That's what those are called. James there says, I received a gifted membership before, but it just hasn't been working for me anymore. All right, Ika says it's a little better now. So the audio is a little better for everybody now. All right, make sure you guys continue to hit that like button as you come into the chat. It really, really does help out the channel. The burning season says, I've been thrown out of 3 bass clubs for winning too much. Accuse me of cheating. People who cheat in tourneys are complete scumbags. Goodness gracious. So they accuse you of cheating. But you know what some people do to remedy that? When you're doing the right thing is just go ahead and get you a camera and record it. And so if someone has a problem with it, you can show them the clip where you actually caught the fish. That's another thing I like about doing the live tournaments is that you have video evidence. If there's any issues, you can always go back. If somebody has something to say, you know, the burning season says that was before GoPros. Gotcha. All right, Alexandra says, if you're trying to get a membership and you have an Apple phone, let's see, she says, try going to visit MoneyBass's YouTube channel and click on membership. See if that works for you. The burning season says, so I joined the other club they were in and took their money there. Man, the burning season, you just burning feelings everywhere, right? All right, like I said, make sure you guys tap that screen, double tap the screen for me. Let's get those likes up. Keep the likes up with the number of viewers. That way, once we get some fish to the boat, we can do a quick and easy bass for cash segment. See if anybody walks away with any of these funds that we have on file now. Uh-oh, guys, got my crankbait on a line. Let's see if I can get it. Nope, I'm gonna have to go and get that one. Can you guys see it? Take a look at it right there. Can you see my crankbait right there on the end of that? Kind of bouncing up and down. I was trying to see if I could pop it off of there, but oh, I wrapped it. I got it around it, but it went around the wrong way. Burning Season says he still remembers the baits that he was using. Yeah, you know, I always thought about that too whenever I first joined the bass club, and I could be talking about, hey, you remember back in 1989 when we were at such and such lake and this thing right here happened, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, how do y'all remember what fish you caught like 30 years ago? What's going on, Terry C? Appreciate you for coming and checking us out today. Big shout out to the Money Team. I see a lot of you are in the chat today. Did anybody else fish any tournaments or go fishing this weekend? Now, I did have my line wrapped on that wire, and I do not want to lose this crankbait, so let me just check it. And it does have some rough spots in there. So I'm gonna spot lock for a second, do a quick retie, and then we're gonna keep on moving. Shout out to Terrence, says hello from New Zealand. New Zealand is in the chat. Really appreciate you for tuning in. What kind of fish are you catching out there in New Zealand? All right, let's get all my little baits and stuff out of the way. What kind of fish are you catching out there in New Zealand? Burning Season says first, be that was a, what is that? Was a 12-footer with a 5 horsepower drive. Oh, first boat. Okay, first boat was a 12-footer with a 5 horsepower direct drive. Air-cooled motor, sounded like a chainsaw. But you still caught fish in it, didn't you? Shout out to C219 Troll says, came in 8th place on Lake Greenwood. Now, was that a crappie tournament? Or was that a bass tournament? I'm guessing it was a crappie tournament, right? All right, so we're gonna hit this with a quick polymer knot. I've shown you guys before, I like using these speed clips so that I can put my crankbaits on and off real quick if I wanted to change those out. See, you said crappie 8.7 pounds. Okay, so with that, was that your best 5 fish, or do you do 7 fish? How do you guys run those crappie tournaments? I know I've asked that before, but I can't remember. All right, so we're doing a quick polymer knot on this, guys. There we go, got that locked in. Let's throw this line in the trash can. I got to empty out this trash. I've been collecting a lot of old line and stuff in there. You guys see how full that is of line that I pulled out of the lake? I just pulled some line out of my trolling motor a little earlier today. All right, so we're gonna keep on cranking. What's going on? We have Kevin Two Fishes tuning in. Good to see you coming into the chat. I'm gonna run this crankbait right along the front of that dock. Oh, we need is 1 or 2 to do this thing called Bass for Cash. That's all we need. Terrence says, have a look at the Kabuta Bill fishing tournament. You won't regret watching it. Let me see. Just got back yesterday. Over 450 boats launching from shop. What? What is that? 450 boats. What's going on, Caden? Caden's back in the chat. The burning season says back when fishing was fun and exciting. Now it's predictable and redundant. All right, yeah, so just reach out to me, Kevin Two Fishes, and I can give you some more information about what you need. C219 Troll said this is a five fish in this trail. And I'm assuming that's yeah, you said that's a crappie tournament. Terrence Carter says, but we catch snapper, red cod, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Kahawi. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Kingfish, yellow tuna, blue marlin, black striped marlin, grouper. Also, you catch those real good fish. You catch those good eating type fish right there. Go ahead and make sure you guys hit that like button. We're getting the numbers up. Now all we got to do is get the fish up. So you guys are doing your part. I'll be doing mine in just a second. So we're just starting out, guys. We haven't been out here that long today. I got kind of a late start. I was hanging out with the guys from the Barrow Bass Club. They had a tournament out here on Lakeland time. Nice group of guys. I think 16 pounds won that. Shout out to Sean. Came out here and did his thing.